Hey, Scotty B back with you, and this is the important part. If you watched the other video, you heard me make a statement about the fact that we are going to produce the biggest checks based on the fewest number of active distributors in a pay structure, or we'll call it a pay leg because we have a binary, in the history of the network marketing industry. Bold statement? Absolutely. True? 100%. Can I prove it? I will. We do have a binary. I'm not going to debate different compensation plans. That's not what this is about. Either you like our overall model and you want to be involved with what we're doing, or you don't. And that's okay either way. It truly is. But I want to back up the statement that I said. You see, when you look at binary compensation plans, you have a big team and a small team. You have a left leg and a right leg. One's bigger than the other. The way that binaries can pay unlimited depth is because they pay based on algorithms, and you get paid on the smaller of the two teams. I realize many of you, this is very, very basic information, but there could be somebody kind of new. So when you start building your structure, you start your business, well, obviously, you get customers who want to use the product. Where do you get customers from? Well, customers, in my case, the customers are the people that say no, they don't want to do the business. They become a customer. But when people want to do the business, I put them either on my left side or my right side. And so you build a left team and you build a right team. Over time, as you continue to enroll people and help your people enroll and help them to help their people enroll, you get two teams building, a left and a right. And one eventually becomes bigger than the other. That becomes your strong side. The other side, the smaller of the two, becomes your pay leg. So in this example, I'm going to say your right leg is your strong side. I'm going to say your left side is your pay leg. And I'm going to say you have 100 active affiliates. 100 active affiliates in your pay leg. So then in your strong side, your strong leg, that means you probably have, I don't know, 150 to maybe 200 or more active affiliates. But we're going to focus on your pay structure. Here's what I'm going to tell you. In our compensation plan, the person who gets started, the auto ship, the monthly requirement is $50. That's low for our industry, and I understand that. But when you look at the global nature of our business and where our focus is on helping you build a business right where you live to start and within your country secondarily, but third, to help you start earning checks from many different countries all around the world and truly have a global business, in 5 years from now, there'd be nothing that make us more happy than to have you earning checks from 100 different countries. And I've been paid out of 141 countries, so I understand this is possible. I'm getting paid out of 9, well now 10 countries right now, which that's what we're open in. So let's talk about this. The average auto ship in our industry, the average is $100. So $100, if you have 100 people on your team, that's $10,000. In our residual binary, you earn 10% of your smaller team, or 10% of your pay leg. So 10%, that would be $1,000 a month. $1,000 a month based on the monthly production of your team in your pay leg. That's 100 people doing $100 a month is $10,000 in volume. You're earning 10%. That's $1,000. That's normal for our industry. It's not talking about any new people getting started earning by purchasing packages. That's not talking about any retail customers. That's strictly talking about pure network marketing, internal consumption. Of course we want customers. They drive our business. Of course we want new people joining. That's important. That's the lifeblood. But I just want to talk about people who are in the business, active and consuming the products. Now again, our normal auto ship for people to start is $50 to get started. Now, here's where the statement I made gets a little bit different. You see, in the next 90 to 120 days, we're rolling out a program called LEAP. And LEAP is a commercial application. That's right, a commercial application. Now, over the last half year, I've asked this question in 9 different countries in rooms anywhere from like this boardroom with 5 or 10 people in it to rooms filled with thousands of people. I've asked these questions. And these are important questions because I want you to think about it too. Matter of fact, just act as if you're sitting there. More importantly, imagine you've got a room of 100 or 1,000. Let's say you've got 100 of the people on your pay leg and they're in this room. I'm going to share with you what I asked and what the responses were. The first thing I said is that how many people in here own a business where you have employees and you have a break room where you serve coffee to your employees, or you do business with the public and you have a place where you serve coffee to the people who come in to do business with you in your establishment. And about 30 to 35% of the hands go up. Some of the countries in Central and South America is a little bit less, some of the other countries a little bit more, but on average across North, South, Central America, about 35%. So if I had 100 people in the room, that'd be about 35 that own a business. They own a business. I then say, how many people in here are a decision maker in one of those two types of businesses? And a few hands go up, not very many. It might be 3, it might be 5, it might be 7 out of 100. Not a whole lot. So let me ask you another question. How many people have a family member, a close friend, or a neighbor, somebody you go to church with, somebody you know really close, that either owns a restaurant, delicatessen, bakery, someplace where they serve food, or is a manager at a place like that? And about 30-40% of the hands go up. I say, how many of you know somebody that owns a business that has a lot of employees and they serve coffee to their employees, like in a break room or a rec room? Again, about another 30 or 40% of the hands go up. I say, how many of you do business with people that you know somewhat, that you do enough business, you recognize them, maybe know them on first name, but they recognize you, recognize them. It's a restaurant you go to on a regular basis. But if you walk in and say, hey, I got something I'd like to talk to you about, because you do business with them normally, they would let you do it. And about another 30 or 40% of the people raise their hand. Then I say one more time, let me ask you, how many of you have a restaurant in your neighborhood that you've been going to for years? Maybe you go once a month, maybe a couple times a month, maybe even once every week, where the owner knows you, the manager knows you, but somebody knows you and you've been there pretty regular. And about 60% of the hands go up. I say, now, if you raised your hand to any one of the questions I asked you, please raise your hand again. And the entire room just about goes up every time. I say, now, if you answered to more than one of my questions, yes, 2 or more, put your hand up. And about 60% of the room raises their hand. Now, why is this important? The reason this is important, I'm not talking about people becoming coffee salespeople into the commercial marketplace. I'm talking about through internal consumption. I'm talking about your team of 100, what can happen? Not even you getting one commercial account yourself. I'm just talking about through building distribution, what can happen? Well, here's what's going to happen. First off, we did a test market with 10 different commercial accounts. 10 different commercial accounts, and on each, they averaged $6,000 a month in purchases, coffee purchases from us. We did it with a drive-in gas station where they have a convenience store. We did it with delicatessen, with a bakery, with a couple of restaurants, with an office, some different types of places. The average was $6,000 a month. Now, here's what I want to do, because where most people in network marketing inflate things or they exaggerate, I mean, they always make things bigger than they are. I mean, if there's 100 people in the room and you call them, they say, oh, we got 150. That's not how I am. Matter of fact, I like to go the other way. So even though I've done research for 6 months and I've asked people, how many people know somebody that's a decision maker, owner or decision maker in these establishments, and it's amazing the response. I want to assume that out of 100 people in your pay leg, only 20 people have the ability to sit down, share the coffee, and set up a commercial account. That means they start using our coffee instead of somebody else's. Our commercial products are going to be available in all different sizes. They're going to be priced in a cost-effective way so they compete with the commercial marketplace. So that's important to know on the front end. But I'm going to say that 20 of them get a commercial account. And they don't do 6,000, let's just say they do 3,000. Well, 20 accounts at $3,000, how much is that? Well, that's $60,000 in volume. $60,000 of volume at 10%, which is the residual commission in the binary. How much commission is that for you? Well, 10%, that's $6,000. So let's put this over here for a second, because what I'm going to show you is how we are literally going to break records. So 20 accounts at $3,000 at 10%, 60,000, 10% is $6,000 a month. Now, here's the second piece of our commercial business. We're going to allow people to open kiosks. Kiosks are these things when you go to shopping centers, shopping malls, exposition centers. You know, you're walking through the mall and there's that guy with the remote control flying the helicopters around trying to sell you the remote control helicopters. They're selling candles. They sell everything. They're everywhere. You may or may not remember this, but there's a company called Metabolife back in the 1990s. Metabolife, when they got started, somebody who was a distributor said, hey, I want to open one of those kiosks in a shopping mall. Metabolife had weight loss pills. And the company was so excited about it because they were just getting started. They said, well, yeah, matter of fact, we'll give you the inventory and you just pay us within 30 days. So they gave them net 30. So they opened up a kiosk. They started selling so much, they opened another one and another one and another one. Well, other people in the multi-level marketing company started hearing about the success. They started to want to open kiosks. So then more and more kiosks were being opened. Metabolife went from 0 to $980 million in sales in 4 years, only in the United States. In that 4th year, if you or I walked in and wanted to get a kiosk, we would have to write a check for $250,000 as a deposit and then we would get the kiosk and all of the product to get started. Guess what? Their smallest kiosk did about $30,000 a month in wholesale. Well, they're called retail volume, but that was at their wholesale price. Their biggest one did $150,000 a month. So $30,000 to $150,000. Now that was 20 years ago. Guess what? We're rolling out kiosks. You can go online and see pictures of them right now, as well as all of our other commercial machines. This is happening in 90 to 120 days, not 2 or 3 years. This is already set. This is coming fast. Let's not say that 5 or 10 people in your pay leg get a kiosk. Let's say that one person gets a kiosk. And let's say that that kiosk doesn't do $150,000 per month, although adjusted in today's dollars, it's probably closer to $200,000 or $250,000. But let's just say it does $50,000 a month. It's a small one of the smallest. At 10%, how much is that? It's another $5,000. Let's put that over here. So kiosk, just one kiosk in your pay leg. As soon as we announced this program just recently, I had one of the guys on our team call from Hawaii, and he said, Scott, he said, I want to get at least 3 to 5 of these. You'd be amazed. It's what's going to happen. By the way, talk about those commercial products. One of the people on our team in Lima, she brought a lady to a breakfast I was doing down in Lima just about a month ago, and the lady and her husband own 150 drugstores, but they also have food sections, and they want to put our little mini kiosk in 20 of their drugstores to start, and based on how that works, they want to expand to all 150. Guess what their estimate is? $2,000 to $3,000 a month. $2,000 to $3,000 a month. So one person with one contact, I didn't enroll her, she's way down on my downline, she's probably 50 or 100 levels below me. But now this lady's going to start, even if they just do 20 kiosks at $2,000 a month, that's an extra $40,000 in volume. At 10%, boom, I just made an extra $4,000 a month. You see the power of leverage of building a distribution network, and then through contacts, warm circles of influence into the commercial marketplace, how that's going to bring volume back in. So now we covered commercial accounts, we covered kiosks. One more thing. We're going to let people open Gano cafes. That's right, Gano cafes. It'll be a Gano Life cafe, just like a Starbucks, but with Gano Life. It'll have all of our coffees, our teas, our hot chocolates, all of our beverages. They'll have sandwiches, muffins, bottles of water. I mean, just like a regular cafe, but it's our products. How many people are opening independent coffee shops all around the world today? They're exploding. Well, why not offer one that has the absolute healthiest coffee in the entire world, period, and some of the best tasting coffee you're ever going to have? Now, do you think that there's some people that in your 100-person pay leg, they know some traditional business people that maybe one of them might want to open a Gano cafe? They have the financial resources and the business acumen to do that? Well, let's say that you get one. Now, I know some coffee shops will do $1 million or $2 million in a year if they're in high volume places. But again, let's say this is a smaller volume one. Let's just say it's smaller volume and it does $50,000 a month. That's just $600,000 a year. That's not a lot for a small independent coffee shop. So $50,000 a month, again, at 10%, how much is that? $5,000. So you put that over here, $5,000. Well, what is that? That's $16,000 per month. Now, remember, you're also making the $1,000 here on the auto ships. You're making the $1,000 on the auto ships. Do you think there's some people purchasing new packages and getting started? These are 100 active people? Well, I hope there are. Do you think there's some regular, traditional, preferred, and retail customers? Of course there will be. And when you're doing this kind of volume, you're also getting, based on your rank, you're getting executive check match, and you're also in the 4% global bonus pool. So with all of that combined, you will be making over $20,000 per month. Over $20,000 per month based on having 100 active people in your pay leg and the parameters that I just rolled out. Now my question to you is this. Where in the world have you, and let's look at the volume real quick. What we said for the commercial accounts, we said 60,000. For the one kiosk, we said 50. For the one cafe, we said 50. So that's 160,000 plus the 10,000 from right here, plus whatever business, so roughly 170,000. So let me ask you the question. Where have you seen a network marketing company where you can have 100 people in your active pay leg doing $170,000 in volume and you're generating commissions for over $20,000 a month? Show me any company in the industry that's even close to that. If you know it, I would love to see it. If you have it, please contact me and let me know. Bottom line is this. This is not something we're thinking about doing. We are doing this. We are doing this. You can go onto the internet. You can see You can see the renderings of our machines that are being manufactured for us. This is put in play. We're moving very, very fast. We're going to start putting the first front-end final pricing and information out on this probably in March, maybe April, and then we'll start delivering these packages in April or early May. June will be the absolute latest. But by end of the second quarter of this year, this will be in full-blown effect. That means that's enough time for anybody by the end of next December to build a very modest team with 100 people in their pay leg, generate this type of income. Hey, what if a year from now it's only half that good? What if you have 50 people in your pay leg? You're earning half that income. Bottom line is this, guys, coffee is the easiest product I've ever seen in this industry. And if you're looking to get back to work, if you're looking to get in the trenches and work with people and do one-on-ones and do two-on-ones and do in-homes and executive luncheons, executive breakfasts and weekly meetings and conference calls and webinars and all the things that it takes to build this business as a potential new partner,